trying to recall the plot of Chrono Cross. So, I've only played Chrono Cross, like, twice, actually. You played it once and I played it once.
Yeah, I played it once and you played it too.
But that was more than 10 years ago, and for a second reason, neither of us played Chrono Trigger.
Nope.
And I only came to understand later that you have to have known things in Trigger to understand what's going on in Cross, but somehow we beat the game.
ABI is doing this because I have absolutely no recollection, and he has some, so...
Okay, so, here's how it goes. So, your main character is Serge. He's a kid in, like, a fishing village. This little tropical fishing village. And, like, one day you're going out to, like, I guess play on the beach with your friends or something. You go out to the beach, and weird dimensional warp shit happens. You're not quite sure it happens. Some weird stuff happens to your head. But when you come to, and you get back to town, everyone's treating you like a stranger. It's all weird and shit.
Wow, I can't believe you remembered all that.
This is actually, like, the most gripping thing about the hook. This is the hook of the whole game, because you go to a cliffside that they point you to, and you realize that people think you have died. You've entered a world or a timeline in which you are dead. But here you are. So at that point, I believe you meet Kid.
Okay.
I remember Kid. I liked Kid. She was really cool.
She's a boomerang, right?
She's a knife, and she had an Australian accent. She's a thief or adventurer. But by the way, Serge doesn't talk. He has no like actual like inner motivation. He's like Chrono, so everything he does is silent. So most of what I guess Kid encourages you to like figure out what the hell happened. The first thing that happens is you get, I guess, tangled up with these night folk people. There were 4 night characters. One of them was Glenn.
Wow, you remember the names, too.
He was named... I think he takes the name after what Frog's real name was.
Okay.
There were 3 other knights. I don't remember their names. One of them was a girl in pink. Another one was an asshole. I think his name was Sigurd. I might be wrong. And, but after you get in trouble with the knights, I guess, you get whisked away, and, like, a dude helps you escape. He's a masked magician named Guile.
Really? Really? His name's Guile.
Guile meant something before Sonic Booms and Flash Kicks. You realize this. Okay, so Guile busts you out, and you're sort of running from the knights while trying to pursue this mystery, and it takes you to a whole bunch of places. There's this pirate adventure that happens. I remember a whole bunch of other seafaring characters. There was an old Chinese magician. There was... I don't know if he comes in yet, but there was an old Chinese magician. One of them was a chef. One of them was...
This game actually features like 42 playable characters.
42 playable characters. Okay, so... But if you thought, like, Irvine from FF8 was a throwaway character, and Regal was a throwaway character, oh god. Chrono Cross will serve the entire buffet of throwaway characters. There was a fairy named Razzle. There was a kung fu waitress named Orla. There was... Oh, you know what it was? I think you were trying to follow the steps of, like, I guess... I'm gonna say it was a crime spree? A crime spree by the notorious villain named Lynx. He was a cat man.
Okay.
We might be back on track. So,
Maybe,
like,
yeah.
whatever, like, fucking, like, I guess whatever Lynx was doing, the Knights thought you were doing. So you were sort of taking the fall for Lynx and his gang. Lynx had, he had a few followers as well. He had a Harley Quinn.
Her name was
Harl, yeah, but she's basically Harley. And, like, you run into Lynx a few times, and he shows you this very vague villain interest, like, this boy, he intrigues me. I feel like I might skip something if I go ahead, so tip me off here. What happens?
Okay. Serge is taking the fall for Lynx for a magical reason.
Magical reason, okay. Okay, so I think they're like flip-flopping between worlds, and because there are 2 worlds in this one, just like in Symphonia.
Yep.
But they're like alternate timelines. One where Serge is alive and one where Serge is dead.
Okay.
And like I guess Lynx has been going back and forth between both of them, and he's been following him, but everyone's getting fucking confused. But then Lynx switches bodies with you.
Yep, you got it.
Lynx switches bodies with you, and no one finds it weird on your end that Surge starts talking. Because that was a thing. When you playing as Lynx, who by the way no longer talks, and no one on Lynx's end thinks it's weird that Lynx is mute now, you meet up with Surge, and his group starts antagonizing you, and no one finds it weird that Surge is talking. And there was actually a fight where you have to fight Surge, Kid, and one of your own strongest guys.
Okay.
That was a really cool thing. I'm like, fucking no! I'm this weak cat man! I didn't put any levels or gear into Harl or whoever these other people are. So yeah, you're Lynx for a while. And then, like, while Lynx, as Surge, is going around doing bullshit to, like, I guess further to smother your name and make the Knights like, oh, that's really the guy. We got him. We found the origami killer. Surge is the origami killer. So you get whisked away to this weird limbo dimension between dimensions and worlds and time. It's like this weird sort of dystopian future. I remember this because it had the healing pod from Chrono Trigger in it. Where you walk into it and it says, your HP and MP was restored, but you're still hungry.
Wow, you remember that too?
I remember that because the boss fight at the end of this is probably a Chrono Trigger reference I don't get. But the boss at the end was some dude named Miguel. He looked like a mountain hiker. And I was stuck on this boss fight.
What?
I'm like, because the fight was like in this desolate-looking sunset future area. Yeah, and I was stuck here because, like, 9-year-old me was like, why is this fucker with a Fisher hat and round glasses shooting lasers out of his hands and kicking my ass?
You could not defeat his burly sneer.
Burly sneer. But, like, I guess after you beat Miguel, he gives you this revelation that Lynx is an agent of some higher shadowy power that's trying to fuck up the dimensions and has something to do with Lavos. It was called Fate, in all caps.
Wow, you got that one too.
Fate was like this sort of weird pseudo-god entity, and you had to kind of like... Okay, so you have to get your fucking body back, and so once you like fight Lynx as Surge again, like you're able to switch back, and I guess you're able to lay out the entire scheme of things that Miguel told you to Kid in your group and to Harl and Lynx's group, and you sort of reconcile. So you join forces and realize that Fate is the real enemy. And then there was this weird shit where I guess Kid is Scala, but I didn't play Chrono Trigger, so I don't know who the fuck Scala is or what she does. But, like, then you go to, I want to say it was either space or a really big tower. I'm going to say tower. Yeah, it was a tower, because it was a big, weird, future mechanized tower.
Okay.
Where you go up and eventually you fight Fate, but you take the entire gang, your group and Lynx's gang, all 42 of you. You put your powers together, you take the 108 Stars of Destiny, and you defeat the machine that was tormenting both realms and trying to play to the realms, and both dimensions become free of their oppressor, and then you find the One Piece and become the Pirate King. and that's Chrono Cross.